All right. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear and see me on YouTube. If we're live right now, let me know if the connection is coming through, how the video is. Get active in the comments. Let me know how things are looking. Let me know. What do we got? We got people rolling in. So here we go. Obviously, we're in for a big night, an unprecedented day of events unfolding between Russia and the United States of America. So we're going to give everyone an opportunity to roll in here, and then we're going to get into it. So make sure right now in the live chat, let me know if the audio's coming through. Let me know if the video is looking good. Make sure you like the video. That is the most important thing you can do. Make sure you like the video. I'm going to move my mic just a touch. Make sure you like the video. That is how we get the truth out there. That is how we get the truth that the rest of the media doesn't have the guts to tell you, doesn't have the courage to tell you. They stick to their talking points. We're not going to do that here. We're going to discuss all the information, all the facts as it comes in. Obviously, you see the title of the video, Are We Already in World War III? Some people might say, that sounds crazy. How could you make such a claim like that? Well, just like any other world war, the pieces, the dominoes that got to be in place, that got to fall, generally, people don't realize they've already fallen until it is too late. So we are going to be breaking down the shocking news out of Russia and the United States of America today, as well as many other things as well. Obviously, you guys know the drill. Super chats always get answered. If you got a super chat, get it in. We will make sure it gets answered. You can join the membership program linked below. And then right here, right now, while we let everyone roll in, Instagram, David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. And then I added my email. I made a new email, hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com. If you want to reach out with a tip, but you don't feel like you have any other way to reach me, you can reach me at that email, also linked in the description box below. Many of you guys have been amazing already, sending me emails, sending me information. We, of course, have the Hookstead Show cup that we're working on right now that I got from my brother-in-law a while back. We are going to be hydrated here. So we're going to let everyone roll in. Again, make sure you're liking the video. Let me know where you're watching from, and I will, of course, read out where it is. Some people are saying the video is lagging. Is the video lagging or is the video good? Let me know if the video is good. Some people are saying they think my feed has been hacked before. I'm getting a lot of people messaging me saying, hey, your feed's being hacked. The enemy's coming for you. I don't know if that's true or not. I have seen some evidence, but I am not ready to make that assessment. So we have Colorado coming in. We got Florida. We got the UK. We got Oklahoma, Oregon. We've got Scotland, the UK, Michigan, Sydney, Kansas, Ohio, Katy, Texas. And guys, we have the moderators obviously are here. They are watching. The moderators know the rules. Now, we did have a little bit of a tech hiccup where I think some moderators accidentally got booted. I fixed it as quickly as I could, tried to add the ones back in that I remembered off the top of my head. So we have the moderators here. I always tell everyone, so we're all on the same page. We all know the same rules. You are free to disagree with me. You are free to think I'm an idiot. You guys are free to argue amongst each other with whatever views you want. What we're not going to tolerate and what we're never going to tolerate is threats. If you threaten to hurt someone, if you threaten to unalive someone, if you threaten me to come get me, that's all going to be screenshotted. You're going to get booted, and then it's going to be sent right to the feds. And then someone's going to come knocking on your door who carries handcuffs and a gun for a living, and you're not going to like how that conversation goes. We took the threats from Iran very, very, very seriously. They are being looked into, and I will leave it at that. The other thing we're not going to tolerate, if you spam the chat with 100 of the same messages and ruin it for everyone, that's going to get you kicked out of here too. Other than that, this is a First Amendment free speech zone. If you see a moderator that you think has overstepped the line, just let me know. And you guys can definitely say F the IRGC. That's totally fine. And Dusty will make his appearance later. So now we've given everyone an opportunity to roll in. Let's go ahead and get into it. So today, I'm going to start by putting this up on the screen for you. This is obviously a photo of CIA Director John Ratcliffe. Why are we talking about CIA Director John Ratcliffe? John Ratcliffe, for the first time since November of 2021, the CIA director, along with the entire CIA entourage that travels with him, visited Russia. No details have been released by the U.S. government about why this trip happened. We know absolutely nothing about why, out of thin air with no advance warning, on a C-17 military aircraft, the CIA rushed into Moscow to meet with Russian intelligence officials. We have not been told anything from the government. The Russians have not said anything. To put into perspective how big of a deal this is, the last time the CIA went and visited in Russia was a couple months before Ukraine was invaded. It was late November of 2021. The invasion launched, I believe, late February or late January 2022. So just a few months later, the Russians launched their invasion of Ukraine. In that 2021 meeting, the CIA told the Russians, listen, we've got all the proof. We have all the intel. We know what you're about to do. We know you are about to invade Ukraine. And if you do that, we are going to flood Ukraine with weapons and we are going to hammer you economically. Obviously, the Russians did it anyways. The war's been going on for 4.5 years at this point. That is the scale that requires the CIA director and senior U.S. officials to visit Russia. This is incredibly serious. I cannot stress to you all enough the immense stakes of the situation we are in. Despite not knowing what the meeting was over, we can make an assessment, an intelligence assessment of what is going on. The U.S. intelligence community, the CIA, the White House, and things of that nature have found information that they find so troubling and so serious that they put the CIA director on a military transport plane and flew him straight to Russia to meet with the Kremlin. It's worth noting that the military markings on this plane were stripped off, other than one small U.S. flag insignia. So they tried to sneak him in. They did not want the world to know what was happening. Obviously, it leaked, which is why we are talking about it right now. Now, this says CIA Director John Ratcliffe arrived in Moscow after the U.S. gathered intelligence indicating mobilization preparations and plans to test NATO resolve. Former Deputy Director of U.S. National Intelligence Beth Sanner told the publication that Ratcliffe may have met with Putin to deliver a warning. We know what you are going to do, and you better not do it. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? What can we learn from this? Well, I'm going to show you guys right here. Give me 1 second to get it up. So this right here, which you are about to see on your screen, are the immense NATO war drills around Kaliningrad. What is Kaliningrad? Kaliningrad is Russian territory squeezed between NATO countries, specifically Lithuania and Poland. About a week ago, with no advance warning, NATO started launching massive war exercises against Kaliningrad. Highly unusual. Does not happen. Nothing was said to the public. We had spy planes up. We had AWACS up. We had refueling tankers up. Fighter jets, Polish troops mobilizing on the ground. This indicates that NATO believes when Russia attacks, or if Russia attacks, they will launch this assault on NATO from Kaliningrad. You don't practice bombing strikes on Kaliningrad for the fun of it. You do it because you think something major is coming. You are preparing for what you feel is a likely direct conflict with the Russians. And that is why I say, are we already at the start or on the brink of World War III and we don't even realize it yet? Let's stop. Let's pull back and think about the situation we are in. Iran is getting weapons from China and Russia to reconstitute its military, air defenses, and offensive capabilities. Iran just blew up a ship today. We have been at war with them since February 28th. Russia is carrying out more sadistic, more evil, and as cruel as possible attacks inside Ukraine with the assistance of the Chinese. North Korea is rapidly building as many nukes as they can and also testing the limits. And China, at the same time, is expanding its military capabilities and getting more aggressive in its harassment of Taiwan. Let's go to Russia. Russia, in the past few weeks, has done the following. They have bombed Poland with a cruise missile. They have sent multiple attack drones into Romania. They have amassed their forces in Kaliningrad. Senior Russian military officials just days ago were in Kaliningrad and were briefing them on mobilizing for an assault on NATO. NATO intelligence assessments have picked up chatter on the Russian side that they plan to attack NATO. Russia just sent to sea its most secretive and most advanced submarine armed with 6 Poseidon nukes. What is the Poseidon nuke? It is the nuke torpedo capable of wiping out, if you believe the Russians, the entire west coast of the United States of America. These are all happening back to back to back to back to back. This is not an accident. You can draw clear lines on the ledger. On one side, you have an alliance of Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, all building their military forces as fast as possible. Russia is in a hot war with Ukraine and is routinely targeting NATO targets. They blew up a rail line in Poland. They attempted to blow up a plane in Germany. These are the facts of the matter. The fact that the CIA found something, we do not know what it is, we cannot say it with complete certainty, and the U.S. has started simulated bombing strikes on Russian territory, we can look at that and draw an assessment. We're never going to say 100%, and I see all the super chats coming in. I'm going to get to them. We can draw an assessment that something major is coming. What could that look like? What it could look like, and I'm going to pull this map off of the screen briefly. What it could look like is Russia attempts a land incursion into Lithuania or Poland. They try to seize a small piece of NATO territory. Putin then tells NATO, you get out of Ukraine, stop giving the Ukrainians weapons, and I will give you your NATO territory back. Or don't do that, and I will push further into NATO territory. And I want to be crystal clear about this. The Polish military is one of the most sophisticated and advanced militaries on the planet. It is one of the strongest militaries in all of Europe. And unlike a lot of members of NATO, the Polish are not afraid to fight. They are not afraid of violence. They sent Polish Grom, which is their equivalent of Green Berets, Tier 1, Tier 2 operators, to Iraq, to Afghanistan. They want to fight. They've been itching for a war with Russia. They've been preparing for a war with Russia. And Russia might be about to give it to them. If Russia thinks they will steamroll their way to Warsaw, they've got another thing coming. Absolutely have another thing coming. The Polish would be salivating to kill some Russian soldiers. Another option. Russia is said to be mobilizing up to 800,000 new troops to send to Ukraine. North Korea has sent 50,000 more troops to Ukraine and provided them with hundreds of ballistic missiles. North Korean troops right now today are fighting in Europe, in Ukraine, alongside the Russians, using weapons provided by the Chinese and drone technology provided by the Iranians. Connect the dots. No one realizes the next world war has started until the dominoes have already fallen. But I want to know what you guys think. Get active in the live chat. We're going to do a poll right now. Why did the CIA visit Russia? We're going to do imminent threat. So I'm putting the poll up right now. So we have the poll there. Why do you think they did an emergency meeting in Russia? Get active in the poll. So 64% of you are voting imminent threat to NATO. 10% of you think it is tied to Iran. And 28% of you are saying it is too secret to know at this time. If this kicks off, we all need to be on the same page. And, we got people in the media right now talking about things that don't matter at all. Talking about things that don't matter one bit. Talking about culture war issues, all that nonsense. We are at the brink of a shooting war with Russia. If we weren't, again, go back to the 2021 meeting between the CIA and Russia. A war started a few months later that is still going on today. These are the facts of the matter. This is what we know to be true. Now, what they talked about and what the CIA has specifically found, we do not know. But here's something else we have, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to put on the screen right now. This is an ammunition plant in Ukraine blown up. Now, why am I bringing this up? We've been watching the news for the past 10 days or so, what has been exploding across Europe? What has been having unexplained fires and explosions in Italy and other locations? Ammunition factories that supply not just NATO, but also supply Ukraine. This is Russian sabotage. No question about it. The Russians have sent covert agents into Europe to attack critical infrastructure, military infrastructure, including the ability to make arms and weapons. Now, this is a factory in Ukraine located near the Dnipro-Travask, I believe. I probably butchered that. Let me know in the live chat, but let's watch. So that right there is the explosion. I mean, it's unbelievable. So they took out a major ammunition plant in Ukraine after going into NATO and blowing up the ammunition plants there as well. Let me be crystal clear about this as well. Putin wants to expand Russian territory. He wants Ukraine. He wants Poland. He wants Estonia. He wants the Baltic states. He wants Moldova. He wants it all. And Putin has convinced himself, right, wrong, or indifferent, that NATO is too weak to stand up to him, that he can take it and NATO will not dare fight him. NATO would not dare get into a ground war with Russia. I'm here to tell everyone, again, let's just go with Poland alone. If Putin thinks he's going to invade Poland and they won't suffer mass casualties across the Russian front, the Russian line, wherever it starts, in Kaliningrad, however it goes, the Polish will... You think Ukraine's a meat grinder? You think what's going on in Ukraine is brutal? The Poles will make what's going on in Ukraine look like a Sunday picnic with your family. It'll be barbaric on a level the Russians couldn't even imagine. The Polish suffered under the Nazis. They suffered under the Soviets. They finally have freedom, and they have made it clear they're not giving it back for any reason. So I want to know what you guys think. Get active in the live chat. Get active if you think this is going to kick off. And we're gonna crush some live chat, super chats here. We got Bill Candy. When will Trump realize you can't deal with the IRGC? Imagine if Trump recognized Prince Palavia as leader of the opposition, elections within 100 days. I think the time window on Palavia came and went. Trump seems to have soured on him. I've read reporting he doesn't think that he is a strong enough leader to get the job done and has soured on him. I don't know if Trump could change his mind, but I don't think the Palavia thing is going to happen. We are now in a doom loop with Iran. We have economic D-Day. We've got the D-Day of sanctions that are on Iran now. And this plays back into the World War III. Because, again, who is giving Iran the weapons and most importantly, the satellite data to target the ships in Hormuz, to target U.S. locations. It is China and Russia. They are all working together. They are all working together. It is, to quote George Bush, President George W. Bush, the axis of evil. It is China, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. It is the big four. They are all in this together. And Russia is giving North Korea in return for all the troops it's sending highly advanced missile technology that North Korea did not have. North Korea can now hit the United States of America, every city in the mainland. Every city is under the umbrella now, or under the threat of North Korean nukes. And I don't say this to scare you. I don't say this to gin up panic and fear. We're talking about the facts as we know them. We are talking about the information that we can assess. If we were in the situation room with the president, this is how he would be briefed. Here's what we know. Here's what we have intelligence to indicate. And these are the unknowns. And right now, the known is the CIA director raced to Russia in a secret mission that apparently went terrible because he was barely there for any time at all. Then got back on essentially an unmarked military aircraft and flew out of the country as fast as he could. And we know NATO is preparing simulated bombing runs on Russian territory, and Russia is mass mobilizing its troops while giving Iran more advanced weapons to get their military as strong as possible. We are in a dire, dire time, and I hope people realize it. But to answer your question, I think Palavia, his time is come and gone, unfortunately. We got David Webb, gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much, David. Like I said, guys, the membership link is in the description box. If you can't, it helps keeps the lights on. Every dollar that comes into the show keeps the lights on. We're going to try to upgrade the background. We've got some cool stuff. If you have something cool you want to see in the background, let me know. But we're going to try to upgrade the background as well as do some other things. So thank you very much. But if you can't join the membership, if you don't want to spend the $7, I totally understand. It's tough out there. I get it. But you can like this video, which is 100% free and is critically important. Right now, we got over 5,000 people watching. We only got 1,300 likes. So I know you guys can get in there and smash that like button, hit that like button. You can subscribe to the channel. That is huge. It's also more important. YouTube is making some changes. We want to make sure the truth stays out there. So make sure you're subscribed. Those are the biggest things you can do to help me to get the truth out there so the world knows what's going on. And that is all totally free. The C-17 was on the ground from 0705 UTC to 1530 UTC. So just a few hours, right? Not long at all. Few hours. About 8 hours total. In the broad scheme of things, that's not much time at all because that accounts travel time to get to the Kremlin, in and out. I'm telling you, again, we do not know what happened in this meeting. We do not know what the U.S. said. We can draw some strong conclusions that the United States of America and the CIA told Putin, we know what you're planning. We know you're going to try to attack NATO. If you do that, we are going to turn your world upside down. You think what we've helped Ukraine with is big and powerful and deadly? Wait until you see what happens when the United States military, the Poles, the British, the Germans. Remember, they have tried multiple times now in Germany to blow up airplanes in Germany. That's an act of war. Launching cruise missiles into Poland. That's an act of war. Launching attack drones into Romania. That is an act of war. Now, are we going to start World War III over a couple attack drones? No. A ground invasion? That's how world wars get started. So thank you very much for the timeline update. Should Trump and Putin negotiate a peace deal where we stop helping Ukraine and let Russia win there, and Russia stops helping Iran and lets us win there to avoid World War III, let China take Mongolia? Well, that is part of the Russian plan. That is actually what I was saying earlier. Russia has convinced itself, Putin has convinced himself, that if they take a small piece of NATO territory, that they will then convince NATO to stop helping Ukraine, and then we will leave. All of NATO will leave Ukraine, and that'll be the end of that. The problem with that theory is, even if the United States stops helping Ukraine, There's still enough NATO firepower between France, England, Germany, all of whom want the war to continue, Poland, who wants the war to continue, to draw this out for years to come. And Putin does not want peace. Again, he is mobilizing 800,000 new troops to throw them at the meat grinder in Ukraine. He is eager for war. He is eager to draw this thing out and make it as bloody and brutal so that if he negotiates solely from a position of strength. So I don't think there will be any deal at all. I think we are, and that is why Russia is now looking to escalate. Russia didn't get its way. It is losing territory left and right. And in fact, I'm going to see if I can find this video for you, because their factory that they just built with China, I'm going to show you this. So Russia spent a ton of money, billions of dollars, building this factory with China. I'm going to go full screen here so you can see it. So this is the Amar Gas Chemical Complex, which was built inside Russia, but it is a Chinese-Russian gas facility, one of the biggest in the world. What did Ukraine do? They blew it up today. That is it today. So neither side has any interest in turning this down. They both want to see it get ramped up. So what you are looking at right here is the facility as it is getting absolutely annihilated by the Ukrainians. So interesting thought. I don't think it's going to happen though. We got Rock-a-Fire Fan for $5. I did research and found out the event in Moscow scheduled to happen in 4 days was canceled 7 days ago. That is correct. I talked about that in the video earlier today. So Putin had a big event that was postponed. It was supposed to be coming up. It was postponed. Why was it postponed? We don't know. But news of it being postponed was reported by the Kremlin when it became clear that the CIA was coming in to visit. So again, another data point. Why is Russia canceling major events? Why is Russia seemingly moving troops all over the place? Why did Russia set to sea its most advanced submarine armed with 6 Poseidon nuclear weapons? Why? That is not what you do if you're trying to turn down the temperature. That is what you do if you are trying to turn this situation up. If you are trying to make this as violent as possible. So yes, you are correct. I touched on that in the video earlier today. In my opinion, this is what's going on with the CIA director. This is Ted McCabe going into Russia. Russia just recently launched its doomsday submarine. This is no small measure. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find that submarine. Let me pull it up. I'm going to pull it up right here. Give me 1 second. So this is the submarine. I'm trying to pull up a photo of it if I can. It's got a crazy name. It's got an absolutely crazy name that I'm sure I'm going to butcher. You guys can make fun of me all you want in the live chat. Let me see where it is. All right. So I'm going to put this. Oops. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Trying to get this up on my screen. My computer is not being very cooperative. So we are going to throw it up here. All right, this is it. I'm going to put this up here for you. This is their doomsday submarine. It is called the Khabarovsk or the Korogovisk. I don't know. But it is Russia's nuclear power submarine. It is now set to sea with the 6 Poseidon weapons. The 6 Poseidon torpedoes capable of wiping out the entire west coast of the United States of America. This is a news article breaking down that the submarine is right here, configured to carry 6 2M39 Poseidon autonomous underwater vehicles, which is more than the 4. Well, I got to get that off the screen. Usually linked to the Belgrade. This is the Wikipedia page for it. The Korogovisk class submarine is the newest one. It's right here. They have one right here. and it is now out to sea. It says it is right here. Yes, carries the 6 Poseidon, also carries anti-ship and land attack missiles. So this is Russia's most advanced submarine. They have just sent it to sea. All eyes are on this to figure out where this submarine is going, what is the plan, and what is the mission. So right now, I'm going to end this poll. So 60% voted. 60% of you voted that you think we have an imminent threat to NATO. 30% voted it is too secret to know. And 10% said it is Iran. So yeah, I mean, the submarine. Now, I know that there's been some talk that it could just be, or they're trying to use sea trials is cover for what is going on. That is right out of the Soviet Union playbook. The Soviet Union back in the day would say, oh, we're just doing a training exercise. We're just doing sea trials. And then next thing we know, the submarine would be off our west coast. Or next thing we know, it'd be in the Atlantic Ocean. Because we try to tail all these submarines. I have no doubt we are searching around the clock to find out where this sub is. So it's a good theory. We've got Kevin Stankiewicz is back. Poland will not survive a nuclear attack by Russia. Yeah, well, of course not. Of course not. But Russia also would not survive a nuclear attack by NATO. That is what makes the situation we are so scary. We are now in a situation with countries totaling over 10,000 armed nukes pointed at each other. It appears there's going to be some kind of ground invasion. There's going to be some kind of action on the ground. And if that doesn't give you a moment of pause and that doesn't make you nervous, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Is a give. I think Russia is burning. Putin is looking for an out. Trump gave him away plus warning before November. Win-win. I don't think Putin wants a way out. Putin does not want a way out. Putin has made it clear they want as much as they can get, and you don't mobilize 800,000 new troops. 800,000 new troops unless you think you're going to keep your foot on the gas. So I don't think Putin, when we gave him the warning in 2021 about Ukraine, of course, Putin wasn't president. Biden was. When we gave him that warning, he didn't listen at all. He just went and invaded Ukraine. So I don't think he wants it. We got Fun Eagle 45, Soren 51. It's past time for Putin to be taken out. The world will be a better place. Prayers to our troops. Absolutely prayers to all of our troops. Unfortunately, the fact of the matter is Putin is incredibly popular in Russia. He is incredibly, incredibly popular in Russia. And the Russian people love him because when he became their leader, it was right after the 90s. Russia was in a really bad place post the fall of the Soviet Union. Boris Yeltsin, as the leader, had done a terrible job. And then Putin made the Russian people feel like they were a superpower again. He modernized their military. He made them feel like they had a lot going for them. So I don't think his people are not going to rise up against him. That is not going to happen. But could we take him out? That'd be tough too. And then you would absolutely start a war. We should be looking. Nobody is cheering for a nuclear war. I'm certainly not cheering for it. But we will. It's just a crazy time. So we're going to do this poll right now. We're going to do this poll right now. Give me 1 second. Who wins in a conventional war? Russia or NATO? Let's get the poll active. We got Ted McCabe. I'll tell you what, if World War III happens in the draft is active, illegals go first. So you want to offer up? I can't imagine the draft coming back. Hold on, I'm getting information in on my phone. Hold on. I don't know if it's information I can share, but I got to check it quick. I don't think that's going to happen. It's a bit of a funny idea, but the draft, do you guys think the draft will ever come back? Let me know in the comments below if you think the draft will ever come back, and let me know what you think. We got Red Eye for $5. Do you think we should start learning where fallout shelters are? Yeah, not a bad idea. And again, guys, I want to be clear about this. And I'm going to try to, I got to reposition my chair here. I'm sitting on my foot. I want to be clear about this. I'm not saying any of this to scare anybody. That is not the goal. That is not what we are trying to do. The goal here is to give you the information. The fact the CIA raced to Moscow on a secret mission. The fact we have information that NATO is planning, or I'm sorry, that Russia is planning an attack on NATO. You guys are the smartest people on YouTube. You're by far the smartest audience on YouTube. We all just need to have clear eyes and look at the information. I would encourage you all to have the basic skills and the basic information. If, heaven forbid, something terrible happens, that you have a place you can go, you have a plan. It's better to have a plan and not need it than need it and not have it. Have some basic supplies. Have, the necessary tools you'd want to have. Know where your family is. Have supplies that you could trade and barter with, things of that nature. Now, again, do I think it's going to get that bad in America? No, I do not. Not right now. But you have to be prepared. So, yeah, not a bad idea. Unfortunately, where I live, we'll catch the first nuke. So maybe we'll live stream it. Maybe when we find out the nukes are in the air, I'll live stream and you guys can watch the fireball coming in real time. Russia will invade Lithuania as China attempts Taiwan. Either way, it sounds like things are going to get very serious soon. I could absolutely see that happening. China and Russia are coordinating all of this. They are working in lockstep. And if Russia launches the ground invasion of NATO, that would be the perfect time for China to take Taiwan, because the U.S. forces are going to have to be split in 3 different areas. They're going to be split by Taiwan. We don't even have an aircraft carrier there anymore. We took our only aircraft carrier out of the Pacific, the USS George Washington, and moved it into the Middle East for Iran. So we would have to fight in the Pacific, we would have to fight in the Middle East, and then we would have to fight in Europe. It would be a disaster, a horrifying situation on many levels. So it would not surprise me if they attempt to do this all at the same time. Hold on, I got to lift my chair up now. We got 5,500 people in. If you're just joining us right now, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and then bottom of your screen, you can find me on Instagram, David_Hookstead, XDHookstead, and then my email, if you want to reach out for any reason, business, tips, whatever it might be, bottom of the screen, hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com. I'm actually going to I'm putting it in the chat right now. All right. What do we got up next? We got Kevin back. I think it is more likely that Putin will launch a new front in Western Ukraine, Lviv, from Belarus to cut off all resupply routes and win in Ukraine. Yeah, very possible. That's one of the theories about why the CIA raced to Moscow. One of the theories is that Putin is going to use these 800,000 troops and try for an all-out assault inside Ukraine. And in fact, we already know, let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. And I'm going to put it on the screen for you all. Because the Belarus border, if I can find a good link to it. Yes, this is it. So, speaking of Belarus, very important information about Belarus. Key detail. Russia is building secret drone bases inside Belarus, a total of 10 secret bases in Belarus with a total of 59 launch rails, so they can fire over 1,000 drones at a time into Ukraine or into NATO territory. Remember, they have sent drones into Poland. They've sent drones into Lithuania. They've sent them into Romania. They've sent them into Estonia. They've sent fighter jets into Estonia. They're using their Shadow Fleet tankers, the big ships, to go around France and the UK and launch drones from the Shadow Fleet tankers. Why we're allowing the Shadow Fleet tankers to even be allowed in the sea is crazy to me, but it is the simple fact of the matter. Belarus would become a major front. Hold on one second. Belarus will become a major front in any upcoming war. I can guarantee you that beyond a shadow of a doubt. Belarus is going to be very, very important in whatever Russia is planning. Because remember, Lukashenko, the dictator of Belarus, he is in Putin's pocket. Putin runs him. So Belarus has allowed Russia to build all these bases. On top of that, the Orshnik, which I will show you guys right here, is one of Russia's most devastating weapons. They don't have a photo of it, but it is an intermediate range ballistic missile that can carry nukes. Guess where Russia stuck one of these things, the Orshnik, in Belarus. So they have put nukes in Belarus. They are building secret drone launch pads in Belarus. You don't need all that for Ukraine. That's what you need for a broader war. They are laying the foundation, laying the pieces, if you will, setting the table, setting the conditions, setting the stage for an all-out assault that goes way past Ukraine. And that is why NATO has said to Russia, in no uncertain terms, if you launch, this is 100% true. This came out like a week or so ago. NATO told the Russians, straight up, I'm going to take this off the screen right now. NATO told the Russians, if you launch anything against us, we will take out all your airports. We will take out all your launch sites. We will take out all your logistics. We will take out all your supply lines, and we will do it immediately. We will hit you from every area we can, and we will crush you militarily. And speaking of which, in the poll right now, 86% of you have voted, 87% have voted, you think that NATO will win in a conventional war. So good comment, Kevin. The sub is on its maiden voyage after sea trials, no big deal. We're talking about the secret Russian sub. Well, like I said, the Soviets used to use that for cover all the time. The Kursk disaster was very similar, although a little different. So you got to just keep an eye on all of this. All right, we got Red Eye for $10. Thank you very much. Why are we worrying so much about the submarine? It's all talk. We have done the math. The amount of power in the nukes would be hundreds of times larger than the Tsar bomb. Well, we're taking it seriously because when Russia says we're going to nuke you and we're going to use this new submarine-based weapon to do it, and then that submarine, which is a stealth submarine similar to the USS Jimmy Carter, the Seawolf class that the U.S. has, that is the Russian version. It's very stealthy, very hard to find. When that thing slips into the ocean and you lose wherever it is, it is a 5 o'clock fire. It is a 5-alarm fire. The U.S. military and NATO are going to send every plane they have, every water asset they have, every satellite capability they have to find where that submarine is. Now, I'm sure we're watching it right now, and I'm sure we're keeping a close eye on it, but I think the submarine is, and the bomb on it is, or the 6 bombs on it, is way bigger. It's a serious problem. We got Lyle Peterson, $20. Thank you very much for the huge super chat. Huge supporter of the show. If things deteriorate like no gas, no food, no wild berries in Russia, Putin will find himself too close to an open window. Again, I good joke about amazing how many high-ranking Russian officials fall out of open windows. Very odd, right? Very odd how often that happens. The thing is, you have to remember, Putin rules with an iron fist. His inner circle is terrified of him. And he very strategically has made it so that if he is killed or has to leave office, the people who replace him are more radical. He presents himself as the moderate option. He is the moderate option. Now, he's not a moderate at all. He is straight out of Stalin's playbook. He's not a communist, let's be clear. He's not a communist, but he is far from a moderate. And he wants to restore Russia to its former glory, and he wants to do it through military means, by any means necessary. So I really don't think he's going to be taken out. I really don't. We got $5 from Big Deezy for Dusty Biscuits. So that's going into Dusty's treat, his treat fund. Thank you very much. We got Blue 6 Delta. I guess Putin forgot about the Ohio class ballistic missile submarines. FAFO. Yeah, we've got plenty of submarines too. But the problem is if they launch from their submarines, we launch from our submarines, what's going to happen? The missiles are going to cross each other in the air. And the Golden Dome, the air defense network Trump is trying to build, is not active yet. It's not active. The Golden Dome is not yet live, which means if they launch nukes, and again, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I do not want you to live your life in fear. I do not want you to panic. I don't want you to put your kids to bed or hug your wife tonight and think that the world's ending. That's not what I'm saying at all. Let's be clear about that. But we are now closer to World War III than we ever have been in the last 25 plus years. Since the fall of the Soviet Union, we have never been closer to World War III than we are right now. NATO is screaming from the rooftops, begging people to listen, that Russia is going to attempt an invasion. The CIA is racing to Russia to deliver some kind of unknown message to the Kremlin. And unfortunately, the media, which is useless in this country, which is the least competent group of people on the planet, I hope you all don't trust the mainstream media. In fact, let's run a new poll right now. 87% of you are taking NATO's side. We're going to do a new poll right now. Do you trust mainstream media? Yes or no? I do not. I think mainstream media is full of liars. And they're not talking about this. They're talking about stuff that doesn't even matter. They're talking about the dumbest sorry, I got to get some water. They're talking about the dumbest stuff imaginable. That's what mainstream media is doing. The Russians have bombed Poland. They've bombed Romania. They've sent their forces to conduct sabotage missions all over the place. And we got the media out here talking about stuff that does not matter at all. So it fries me. Let's see early poll results. 97% of you say no. You do not trust the mainstream media. That's good. This is from Michael for $20. Thank you very much for the big super chat. Russia has stayed in Ukraine at China's request. Same reason Iran is not surrendered. The BRICS nations want war with the West and West-friendly nations. They want us bankrupt and depleted stockpiles of weapons. Yeah, they're all working together. They're all working together. They are the new axis of evil. China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. And they're all helping each other. They're all sharing information. And they're all trying to destroy our way of life. They want to bring the West down. They want the West to fall in and collapse on itself. That is what these countries want, and they're not even pretending otherwise. When they tell you who they are, believe them. Believe them. We got Kevin back. Maybe it is best if we let Russia win and liberate Europe from the Islamic jihadist terrorist invaders and treasonous globalist collaborators, FAFO, NATO. I totally disagree. Totally disagree. If you let Russia take one country, it will not stop there. Plus, some countries in Europe are incredible allies. Again, I can't say enough good things about the Poles. The Poles, which don't have a problem with immigration or any of that stuff, they effectively sealed their borders and said, we're keeping Poland for Polish people. They sent troops every time we've picked up the phone and called the Polish to help us. They have done it. Several countries have not. Poland has. Why would I want Poland to fall? I want Poland to remain strong. And they carried their weight. And like Trump previously said when meeting with the Polish leader at the White House several months ago, we will always be there to help Poland. Well, it looks like that help might all of a sudden be needed. We got David Webb. I know I should not comment, but Putin is looking for a legacy. Put a small flag above Red Dawn or next to the Lions helmet. Yeah, guys, we are going to be updating this. I have a Red Dawn. I have a second Red Dawn thing I could put up as well. So we got the night vision. We've got, a couple cool things, but we're going to upgrade it. We're going to try to get some more stuff in there. So if you guys have a suggestion that you want to see in the background, please, please, please let me know, and I will try to get it in there as much as I can. And if you have something cool you want to send me, we have a guy who's sending me something really cool right now. If you have something really cool you want to send me, email me at hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com, and I will help coordinate with you how to get that here. Hold on. We've got a situation developing. Someone is threatening Dusty. Someone is threatening to kill my dog in the chat. We will take care of that. Someone is threatening to kill the dog in the chat. We will not be tolerating that. That person will be dealt with in very, very harsh fashion. Some of you are saying I should put a gun back there. I might put a 1911. I haven't decided yet. Yes, but on your point about Putin wanting a legacy, absolutely 100% correct. He wants to go down as the greatest leader that Russia ever had. No question about it. And he thinks by doing this stuff, by expanding Russian territory, that he will go down as the greatest Russian leader ever. Now, is that actually how that's going to play out? I have no idea. I would be very, very skeptical, but that is what he wants, and that's what he thinks he's going to be able to do. So we shall see. Thank you very much for the $5. Blue Collar Biker, we have no fallout shelters in the U.S. FEMA says shelter in place so we can fry. Well, don't do that. Do not shelter in place so that you can die of radiation poisoning if you don't die in the initial blast. Get underground. Get to a building that has a deep, deep basement, underground metro areas, wooded areas with cave systems. Get away from the blast radius and get underground and stay underground. Maybe we should have thought about that and built some fallout shelters. That would have been wise. Maybe we should have spent money on that instead of some of the other dumb stuff our government spends money on. That's not very comforting. That's not very comforting at all. All Christians are about to be taken off the earth and taken to heaven. The Bible predicted this thousands of years ago. Put your faith in Jesus and you won't have to go through the tribulation. If you believe that, that is your belief. And I'm not going to tell you one way or the other, but I don't think the rapture is happening anytime soon. But I've been proven wrong before. Rockafire fan for $5. I think the only way they launch a front from Belarus is if Russia officially annexes Belarus in order to give them protection under the Russian name. Yeah, they might have to, although Belarus is already covered under Russia's nuclear umbrella. So if anyone attacks Belarus, Russia is allowed to nuke them under their agreement, under their defense agreement, similar to the NATO umbrella. Russia has that with Belarus. So Russia would use their nukes to defend Belarus. Slugworth for $20. He's one of our great moderators. There is no message attached, but thank you very much for the $20. We got Sneaky Beach, member for 1 month. Russia is the best shelters in the world. We have none. After the bombs drop, there's nothing left to come out for. Be ready to stay underground. That's literally, yeah, that's what I just said. Be ready to ride it out underground. It's a scary thing. You know, I'll have to leave the Hookstead compound. And there might, and I'm just going to be honest with you all, there might come a time if the land incursion happens, if the ground war happens, I will likely have to leave the Hookstead compound. I will have to leave the studio. I will be moved to a secondary secure location, and we will attempt to film from there. But I can't stay where I am if this thing kicks off, because to the point all of you are making, there's no shelters where I live. And number one, I'm in the area that's going to catch the first missile. So I'm not staying here. I'm not staying in our nation's capital. That they're going to aim number one for that. So no, thank you. I will be moving to a different location, far, far away from the blast radius. We got Daniel Radke, $10 for Dusty. So Dusty's food and treat fund is up to $15 on the show. Thank you very much, Daniel. We'll get Dusty in here in a couple of minutes. We got Gaza Bondi. The media can't put together the good guys and the bad guys. China, Russia, and Iran. That's right. Well, we're learning right now that a lot of people in this country can't tell good from bad. If you guys are watching the Lindsey Clancy trial, that's become abundantly clear that people can't tell good and evil anymore. But 97% of you are voting in the poll right now about the mainstream media, and 97% of you are voting that you don't trust it. And that's good. It should be 100%. The mainstream media is liars, and they're not credible. They're scumbags, and I can't stand them. And I see these people behind closed doors, and they're all complete clowns. And if you want to know who the biggest clown is, I will tell you. I don't want to name names, but the biggest clown in media is actually a right-wing guy. It is a guy who is right-wing. And that guy's whole media operation is complete nonsense. It is a clown show. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's trying to now rip me off. I mean, be very careful who you listen to. Be very careful who you listen to. Just because someone has millions of subscribers or whatever it is, or they work for a major news outlet, does not make them trustworthy, does not mean they know anything they're talking about. You guys are the smartest people on YouTube. I know that you guys can make your own assessments and your own decisions and come to that and be better off and smarter for it. Be very careful who you listen to out there, because a lot of bad actors, lots and lots and lots of bad actors are out there. We're up to 5,400 viewers. If you're just joining in, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you have subscribed. YouTube is making a lot of changes. That is the best way that we stay at top and get the news out there, is for all of you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then if you have a message you want to send me, follow me on Instagram, David_Hookstead. Follow me on X, Hookstead. I've heard Instagram is shadow banning me, so you got to type in my full name, David_Hookstead, and then email hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com, and you can reach me there with anything you need. So yeah, let's be crystal clear. Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, those are the bad guys. We're the good guys. I love this country. This is my home. I was born here. I will die here. I'm not leaving this country. This country is full of the most amazing patriots on the planet. We've got a lot of terrible politicians, but the American people are the greatest people this world has ever seen. And anyone who says otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. And if someone in this country hates this country so much that they want to trash it, my only message to that person is pack your bags and get the hell out. Pack your bags and go live in North Korea. Go live in Cuba. Go live in China. Go live in Russia so you can get pounded by Ukrainian drones and cruise missiles. This country is amazing. It has given me everything that I have. It gave my parents everything they have. It gave my grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-grandparents everything they have. My family has been here for generations. Our bloodline goes back to the 1800s, probably the early 1800s, probably even the 1700s. I love this country. I'm not leaving this country. I will never apologize for stating we are the good guys and they are the bad guys. All right, we got Destination Arkansas. We have 18 Ohio class subs. Let's go. That's right. And our Ohio class subs are going to be they're going to be ready to rock and roll if the time comes. They're going to be ready to rock and roll when the time comes. So we got Red Eye 8075. Get an Art of War book and get it on display. Not a bad idea. Red Eye back for $10. We do have fallout shelters, but they may not have the supplies anymore, and there are not as many, but we still have them. I have 3 near my house. Well, if you have 3 near your house, I would suggest knowing exactly where they are so you can move to them if and when the time comes. All right, I did want to show you this because this surfaced today. This is allegedly video footage. Hold on one second. This is alleged video footage from today of Russia. Now, I don't know if it was filmed today or previously, running major war drills of their own with the S-400 missile defense system, anticipating NATO airstrikes. Let's watch. So this is the Russian air defense network practicing. So those would be the interceptors. They would be trying to shoot NATO warplanes and NATO missiles down. Now, I also want to put this on the screen. It is possible that Iran was also a topic of conversation, according to Tom Cotterill, in the Kremlin today for the secret CIA meeting, saying Iran could be one of the main reasons the CIA made the surprise visit, this top secret mission to Russia. It says the former head of UK military planning said that this could be an effort to get Moscow to stop supporting Iran. The White House promised an economic onslaught against Tehran on Monday aimed at isolating the country economically. Donald Trump has pledged to unleash an economic D-Day campaign to force a deal to end the war. So some are saying that they think this could actually be also tied to Iran. And I'm going to show you guys a video of Scott Bessent. Give me a second here. Let me find it for you. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. So this is Scott Bessent announcing economic D-Day against the Iranians. Let's go ahead and watch his comments.
This is a sustained campaign to collapse every last option for Iran. Let there be no ambiguity as to the position of the United States. An economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power. For decades, this regime has drawn strength from a calculus that regards Iranian retaliation as certain and American enforcement as negotiable. Under President Trump, that era is over. To the ordinary soldiers supporting this regime, as more and more of your paychecks stop or are supposedly just delayed, ask whether your commanders are leading your country to triumph or to ruin. And recall that the Berlin Wall fell when ordinary soldiers decided not to shoot at their own people. And to those who enable Tehran, do not discount the cost of testing Washington's resolve. No nation should expect to enjoy the rewards of our system while helping those who seek to destroy it. It is now a time for world leaders to make a decision between prosperity and isolation, peace and terror, America and Iran. The campaign we begin today will gather force with every day that follows, and it will not end until this regime stands alone.
So that is Scott Bessent right there announcing the economic D-Day against Iran. So I just started a new poll for you all saying that, do you think World War III has already started? 64% of you are already voting yes. So 64% of you believe the war has already started. I'm going to see if we can get my wife to come in. We'll see if we can bring Dusty in. So I just, my wife is out on the couch right now, but it's about time. We like to bring Dusty in at about the 1 hour mark, and we're about at that mark. So, and guys, I thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with me. And we are waiting as information. I think I can hear Dusty coming in. By the way, college football is almost here. Got some new Wisconsin merch. I hope you guys like it. It's kind of like a green light top. All right, I think Dusty's coming. I can hear him. Here he comes. All right, everyone, show some love for Dusty in the chat. Let's see a lot of love for Dusty. Ooh. Dusty, we got to give him his treat. Dusty, do you think World War III has started? Let's show some love for Dusty in the chat. 14 years old. Doesn't he look good for being 14? Dusty, we're talking about Russia. The CIA made an emergency meeting to Russia today. Hey, buddy. Aw, he's been a little bit under the weather, but we're taking good care of him. He's been a little bit sick, but he's getting better. You want to go back? Oh. You want to go back and lay on the couch? Look at us. Oh. All right, Dusty, say goodbye to everybody. All right, Dusty got his appearance. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah, let's show some Dusty some love in the chat. 68% of you are voting. You believe we're already in the early days of World War III. And hold on, I'm going to show you the other Red Dawn thing I have. Because remember, Red Dawn is about World War III against who other than the communists? So I also got this we could stick in the background. This is a metal movie poster, a metal Red Dawn movie poster. It says, in our time, no foreign army has ever occupied American soil until now. Red Dawn. Maybe we'll get that in the background. All right, we got a lot of super chats to get through. You guys have been absolutely crushing it tonight. We got AVAC for $2. Russia will never stop. I agree with you. They will not stop until they are forced to stop. And we have not reached that point yet. And we will see if and when that point is reached. Who gave, this is Kunta Kinte Kazazoy. Who gave the right to the United States to be the world police? Between how many countries is the United States is the bully of the world? Everyone knows that. Well, thanks for the super chat. You're just dead wrong about that. You're just dead wrong. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. It's that simple. The United States of America protects all global shipping. All global shipping is protected by the United States of America. We have military alliances where we protect our allies. Do you really believe that if the United States took a step back from the world stage, that the Russians and the Chinese would be benevolent overlords? That the world would be all sunshine and roses if the Chinese controlled everything that happened? If the communist Chinese, if the CCP in Beijing, you think if they were the world's lone superpower, the world would be a better place? That's utterly ridiculous. You think if Russia was the world's lone superpower, the world would be a better place? Utterly ridiculous. Absolutely insane to even suggest such a thing. That is, I don't even know what to respond to that because it's such a ridiculous stance to even take. So you're just wrong. I don't like to tell people they're wrong often, but that is true. You're just wrong. Another 5. So Dusty, Daniel Radke, another 5 for Dusty. We got Scary Time in Minot, North Dakota. I believe, and I'm just going to double check to make sure here. Yes, you guys have multiple nukes. Yes. So the reason 2CT C856 is saying that, for those of you who don't know, Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota has land-based ICBMs and has our bombers with nukes. So if this thing goes hot, and again, we're all hoping it doesn't. Nobody wants to see that happen. Nobody is cheering for that to happen. If it does, Minot, North Dakota is going to be right at the top of Russia and China's target list because they're going to want to take our nukes out. They're going to want to take our nukes out before we can use them. And I would agree with you. It is a scary time to live there. But again, don't live your life in fear. Don't live your life in fear. I'm getting information in on my phone. But if you have the ability to not be near high priority targets when this starts, if it starts, I would encourage you to move. Get out of the way. But yeah, that's crazy. I used to live in Montana near some critical military sites with nukes and stuff. It is crazy to just see them out there. Or not see that the nukes aren't out in the open, but you guys get what I'm saying. We got Michael Weber for $10. Thank you very much. Thanks for all your hard work, Dave. As I agree, this is the beginning of World War III. God bless our troops and country, and we need an American flag in the background for sure. Leave Dusty alone, tards. Yeah, if you threaten to kill my dog, if you threaten to kill my wife and I's dog, that's going to be a major problem. That, my friends, is going to be a major, major problem. That's not going to be tolerated at all. Not even a little bit. Don't do it. It's not going to be accepted. Thank you very much for the super chat. We got another $10 for Dusty. Ted McCabe, $10. Dusty gets cookies from me. So we're up to $30 in the, I'm going to put a chat. Give me 1 second. We're up to $30 in Dusty's treat fund. We got Amen, Amen, gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much. That's a good reminder that if you're here and you guys want to join the membership, it is linked in the description below, but at a minimum, like the video and make sure you're subscribed to the page. And that is the biggest thing you guys can do to help. All right, we have some interesting news coming in here. Putin has signed, following the CIA visit today, the Moscow Times is reporting that Putin has signed 3 secret directives, 3 secret decrees following the meeting with the CIA. We do not know what is in these decrees, but Putin reportedly signing 3 secret decrees after the CIA visited Moscow. So what does that mean? The honest answer is we simply do not know at this time. What a crazy, crazy time to be alive. We got Robert Hartwick, $20, no message. Thank you very much, Robert, for showing support to the channel. We got Amen, Amen, back with a couple more gifted memberships. Thank you very much. $20. Kisses for Dusty. Thank you to you and your wife. Sneaky Beach. So we're going to count that to the Dusty's treat fund as well. So Dusty, you guys are going to make Dusty fat by the time this is all said and done. He's a 14-year-old dog. He's not been feeling well the past couple days, but we're getting through it. He's getting better. You do have fallout shelters near you. I tried to send you a link showing you fallout shelter locations, but it's not letting me. Where'd you try sending it? Did you try sending it on Instagram or Instagram or the email? Send it to hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com and I will check it out. I know where I live has some, but they're also not going to tell us if a nuke's coming to DC. They're not going to tell us because they need the airspace cleared. They don't want people panicking. They need to evacuate the president. They need to evacuate the line of secession. I've made peace with it. If I'm here and the nuke's already in the air, I'm not making it out. It is what it is. I'm going to go to the fridge, crack a cold one, and maybe the Badgers will be playing football. And we'll grab Dusty, we'll hug him, we'll hold him tight. I'm not going to be able to get out in time. We'll live stream. I will give you all the news so that you who are in other parts of the country, you still might have a chance to make it. And I hope you do. All right, we've got, we just had a fan send this in. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. This is one of our most loyal viewers. Her dog is upset. Her dog Betsy is obsessed with Dusty. That is her dogs. Whenever Dusty's on the screen, her dogs go absolutely crazy for him. So they are out right now going absolutely insane for Dusty. We love to see it. If you guys have cool videos of your dogs going crazy with Dusty, again, send them to hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com. I'm going to put it again in the chat so you guys all know. That is an awesome photo. We love Betsy. She might have to be Dusty's girlfriend. I think Dusty might have a girlfriend coming up. All right. We got Mike Zero's source, $20. Vladimir Putin was a KGB officer until 1991. He truly believed in the cause. When the USSR fell in 1991, he was determined to bring back the glory of the USSR. A first strike against the U.S. would be out of desperation. I don't think that they're going to nuke us, first and foremost. They're going to try a ground invasion into NATO territory. They're going to try to seize NATO territory. That is what they are trying to do. That is what they want to do. And that is what we must make sure they are not able to do. Remember, it is chess, it is not checkers. And we need to be ready for whatever could be coming. Because I promise you, whatever is coming is not good. And yes, you are right. He was a KGB agent. And he believes in total Russian domination. And he will stop at nothing to get it. We got YB Normal for $20. Hello from Neenah, Wisconsin in the house. Shout out to Neenah, Wisconsin. Haven't been this close to war with Russia since the Cuban Missile Crisis in the old Soviet Union. Stock away some basic supplies, water, ammo, and silver for barter. Think of it as insurance. Great suggestion. Like I said earlier in the show, get your basics covered. Clean water, food, weapons and ammunition, radios. Get yourself a good radio that you can use to follow news updates. That is going to be critically important as well. All of this is important. So get what you can get, have the basics covered, and hey, if you don't ever need to use it, perfect. You never needed to use it. Nothing wrong with that. But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. We got Lawrence Miller just sent a couple photos of some of my preps, $20. I assume you meant pups. $20 for the Dusty Fund. So we're up to $70 for the Dusty Treat Fund. So we're up to $70. Let me see if I can find the photos. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do something here. Now I don't know how to. Classic. Okay. Let me see where the photos went. Let's see if I can find them. Give me 1 moment. I can't find them, so I don't know where you sent them, but I will take a look for them and see if I can find them. I apologize for that. I don't know where you sent them. Did you send them to Instagram, email? I don't have anything in email, I don't think. Let me see. I'm trying to look to see. All right, I can't find them. I don't know where you sent them. If you ping me on Instagram or Twitter or email me. We got Red Eye for $5. Sorry to say this, but the Red Dawn poster is wrong. America's had invaders, British invaders in the War of 1812. Yeah, no, I know. It's a movie, guys. It's a movie, and it's also my favorite movie. It is. That's why I keep the DVD right over my shoulder. It's a great movie. Oh, wow. Jayu American Wagyu for $50. Massive super chat. Have a cool cup for your desk. Oh, I saw your Instagram message. Sorry, I forgot. Ping that Instagram message again, and let's set it up over email, and I will tell you where you can mail it to. I apologize for that. And we'll have a rotating stuff in the background. So the Dusty Treat Fund is now up to $120 bucks. Thank you very much. One of the biggest supporters of the show, also a huge Iowa fan. My wife was an athlete at Iowa before she went pro. Yes, I'm married to a pro athlete turned reporter. Don't make a big deal about it. Mexico took over a New Mexico town in 1911. Is that true? Is that true? I got to look. I've never heard that before. 1916. So yeah, there was combat in 1916 between Mexico and the U.S. in New Mexico. I'll have to research that. I didn't know that. We got Saturn Dreaming of Mercury for $10. No, we're not in World War III. As one who works where we share a parking lot with the USSF's temp headquarters, I probably won't know when World War III begins, but I know I wouldn't still be here if we were. Okay, fair enough. So you're saying you don't think we are in the early days. He's referring to Space Force, by the way. So he shares a parking lot with Space Force. Right now, in the poll, 66% of you have voted you think we are in the early stages of World War III. So 66% believe we are in the early stages of World War III. I'll end that poll. You guys have been crushing it right now in the super chats. Trump one step ahead, telling NATO to spend more money, destroying Iran military capabilities, currently saving military assets, and controlling Iran oil. So your theory is that this was all part, Trump knew World War III was coming, and this was all part of the plan. If he knew, then I hope we're ready to go. I hope we are ready to go, because this is very, very serious. It is as serious as it's ever going to be. And we need to make sure that we know. And this right here, I'm going to put this up on the screen as well. So the CIA director has switched planes to a C-40B Clipper and is in the left. So he flew a military aircraft into Russia, a C-17, likely loaded with air defense countermeasures, flares, things of that nature, flew in to Latvia, and then got onto a different military plane and is now on his way back to the United States of America, where we are tracking the situation incredibly, incredibly closely. So we are watching in real time to see what is going on at this moment. We are looking for updates as they're coming in. So there you go. The CIA director bound again for America. We got Copperhead 55. It could have been China wanting to kill Dusty. Just saying. I don't want any. Listen, if you come here and you're going to try to kill me, best of luck. If you come here and try to kill my dog, you're going to get absolutely waxed. That much I can guarantee you. David, take a screenshot of your eyes looking in the camera. You have eagles reflecting. God bless our troops and God bless NATO. I'll do it right now. We'll do it right now. I'll look up at the camera. There we go. We got eagles in my eyes. Patriots only. We're here for all American patriots. Thank you very much for the super chat. That is an awesome message, and $20. What if you're not allowed to buy guns anymore because of your past? Find something you are allowed to buy. Find something you are allowed to buy. And number one, if the apocalypse comes, I don't think laws are really going to matter. And but buy something you're allowed to have. Anything's better than nothing. We got Saturday Dreaming of Mercury. It should be noted the nuclear strike maps against the U.S. do not indicate targets by a singular bomb or missile. Each target designates multiple nuclear warheads from 5 to 20 and higher. Yeah, if they fire, which they easily could do, they're not just sending one or two. They're sending a ton. They're going to go for the whole thing. They're going to try to knock us out with one. Hold on one second. We got information coming in. Hold on. We got information coming in. Yeah, they're going to send everything they got. They're going to send everything they got, and there's just no other way to sum it up. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready. We got Red Eye 8075. Okay, I just sent the Fallout Shelter link location to the email you provided. Stay safe. I saw the email come in. I'm going to read it as soon as we are off of here to make sure that I know where our Fallout Shelter is. But again, I will likely evacuate the Hookstead compound and go elsewhere and away from the blast radius if I get enough heads up. All right, we also have more information coming in about the CIA meeting. It is saying possible reason or one of the reasons for Ratcliffe's visit today to Moscow German Chancellor Friedrich Merz also stated earlier today that Germany would soon reveal that Russia was behind the attack on the airport. So there you go. They are saying now that Russia is behind the attempts to blow up the planes inside of Germany. So very easily, again, they are targeting NATO. They are coming for NATO. And that is likely a major, major part of what is going on. We got Whatever Prepper 13 for $5. Do you think Putin ran and told China what Ratcliffe said? Thanks, David. Great show as always. 100%. China was probably listening in on the meeting. Trying to find out everything they could find out. China and Russia at this point, and they're not natural allies. That's worth pointing out. China and Russia for a long time were actually rivals. Now they've become strange bedfellows, and they are united against bringing down the United States of America and bringing down the West. So they are strange bedfellows for sure. And I have no doubt China was briefed immediately about what was ever said in that meeting. All right, we got Rockafire Fan for $10. This doesn't end with Putin. Russian psyche is modeled on imperialism. They never had a national reckoning to evaluate their good and bad actions. They look at who they are, not what they are doing. Correct. That's what I was saying earlier. The person who would replace Putin is not going to be some Western democracy-loving liberal, some pro-democracy, freedom-loving Russian. That's not who will replace Putin. The hardliners in Russia were angry that Putin didn't just nuke Ukraine. They wanted him to say, forget the ground invasion, just nuke Ukraine. That is what the hardliners in Russia wanted to do. That is who we are dealing with here. That is who we are talking about. So do not get it confused. Do not get it twisted. The Russians want to push for everything they can get. All right, very interesting here. Tanks are being mobilized in Poland. Tank deliveries are being mobilized in Poland. So right here on your screen, tanks are being moved into Poland. They've been shipped in. They are K2 South Korean Black Panthers. They are being shipped in to Poland at this moment as the situation continues to escalate. The tanks are rolling in. So another update worth following. All right, we got Go Getas 87 for $5. I don't think they'll last if they try a foot invasion. Everyone in America is strapped, especially in the hoods. Yeah, I'd be more worried about the farm kids and the people in rural Idaho, Wisconsin, and Montana than I would about people in the hood. People in Idaho, Wisconsin, Montana, they know how to use firearms and they know how to use them at a very, very, very high level. And that's who you got to be worried about. So I don't think they can't get here. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about them getting here. It's our positions in Europe we got to worry about. Okay, look down a bit. Thank you for these amazing updates. I look at your videos. Second thing from getting home. First thing is taking care of my dog, Princess. Well, obviously, always take care of your dog first. The show will always be here on YouTube. You only get so many moments with your four-legged friends in this life. So obviously, always take care of the dog. The dog is the best thing we have, and we always take good care of Dusty. We take great care of Dusty. He's probably... his treat fund right now is at $120. He's got enough treats to last him probably the rest of the year. But I love the fact that we have so many people in here. Let's do this poll right now. We're going to do this poll right now. How are the moderators doing? Are the moderators still crushing it? Feels like the moderators have done a great job cleaning up the chat, taking care of business. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I just see more information coming in on my phone. I'm trying to monitor the situation as close as I can. All right. We got ODMA BA 69. Betsy's parent here. Betsy loves Dusty. She sure does, like we were showing the photo earlier. What if Turkey flips? I see that we had increased security in our nuclear base over there. Great question. You can't trust Turkey as far as you can throw him. Erdogan is a scumbag. He is an absolute scumbag. He's a terrible leader. He is an Islamist. He is horrible. He is in bed. He left his border wide open so that ISIS could flood in and fight our troops in Syria, kill innocent Syrians. He's a horrible, horrible, horrible person. So if Turkey flips, the first thing that would happen would be they would be immediately kicked out of NATO. That obviously goes without saying. But that would be a major problem. If Turkey flips, Turkey's military is huge. Turkey's military is absolutely massive. And under good leadership, they would be a huge asset in the fight against Russia. Unfortunately, Turkey has decided to go down the way of Erdogan, which is a terrible, terrible, terrible way. And I don't trust Turkey at all. I don't trust Turkey at all. And I think that we need to deal with them. All right, guys, I got to remind everyone, we've got 4,500 people watching. We've got only 3,500 likes. I know we can do better than that. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the page. It's the best way we can fight the mainstream media. I can't do it alone. You guys are just as big a part of this as I am. You guys are actually a bigger part of this than I am, because without all of you, I wouldn't be here. The only way we can defeat the deceitful, lying, scumbag mainstream media is by getting the message out there. And that is what we do. And the way we do it is by making sure you like the video and you're subscribed to the page. And every dollar you guys send in the super chat is one more dollar that we get to put towards debunking the lies of the media. So thank you very much. If Turkey flips, it will change the dynamics on the ground immediately. Immediately. And that would be very, very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. All right, we are looking. It appears, okay, Russia has been hit. Russia has been hit at this hour with a massive strike. Russia is taking heavy missile attacks. At this time, logistic areas are being hit. This is happening moments ago. The logistics hub in Katowice, Tabov region has been hit and a fire is broken out at the facility. You can see it there on your screen. There you go. So they are getting hammered. Now, it's worth noting that when the CIA was in Moscow, Ukraine did 0 attacks. We told them, hey, don't attack. We're here. We don't want to accidentally get blown up, or worse yet, we don't want to get taken hostage, because you can't, who knows what the Russians are going to do. And right now, we're seeing in real time, as soon as the CIA left, the attacks are back on. So the attacks are back on in Russia. Speaking of which, do any of you watch the show Lioness? Do any of you watch that? Taylor Sheridan's Lioness show. It has a little bit to do with Russia, Belarus, the Ukraine war. I can't recommend it enough. It's a great show. Oh, my chest hair is showing a little bit. We don't need anyone screenshotting that and sending it all over the web. Kidding, joking. Do any of you watch Lioness? I love that show. Absolutely love that show. It is a great, great show. All right, we are looking to see information is coming in. We're holding. We are holding to see if we now know attacks are once again underway in Russia at this hour. So Russia is under attack at this moment. Let me see what we can find. As the attacks continue, All right, so we do have more information now coming in. This is apparently more information about the meeting, telling the ultimatum, giving Russian ultimatum about the attacks on NATO that have been ongoing and deterring Russia from escalating further in Ukraine. So we can now confirm it is indeed about NATO. That is what is underway. So NATO is preparing for war. And we have given the Russians a warning about what awaits them if and when this situation gets underway. Absolutely incredible time to be alive. We've got Go Get Us 87 as a truck driver to Nevada to Utah. What would be safer to be in the city or in the middle of the desert mountains? Middle of the mountains, not even a tough call. Because it's not just the bombs you got to worry about. It's what society is going to do. If we end up firing nukes back and forth with Russia, which again, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not saying that is going to happen. The breakdown of civilization will happen in a matter of hours. You won't be able to go to the grocery store. You won't be able to do anything. It'll be anarchy in the streets. That's why I would try to leave before it happens. I've got locations across areas that I can go to. No one would ever find me. You would never find me. That's why when the IRGC and the Iranians were threatening me, I was confident and I didn't back down because I knew if push comes to shove, I can be moved to areas they're never going to find. You are much better off the more isolated you are in a situation where society has broken down. You do not want to be near other people at all, not even a little bit, because you don't know how people are going to react, and the odds are they're not going to react well. They're going to react poorly and violently. So I would encourage you to not be near anybody at all. So 94% of you are voting that you love dogs. That's good. We have a pro-dog audience. We'll never apologize for it. Could the UK or EU be hit first? Working night in UK. They would be hit first. They would be hit first. No question about it. They would be hit before the US because Russia wouldn't want to escalate to strikes on the US until there were no other options. They don't want to invite the full wrath of the United States arsenal, our nuclear arsenal. They don't want that because they know with that comes things that they simply would not, as a regime, be able to survive. And there's no other way to sum it up than that. So we shall see what comes next. Give me 1 second. We are getting information in. Give me 1 second. We are watching the information as it floods in at this time. As the information continues to flood in, and we are looking to see. So again, guys, very interesting. Oh, never mind. Not what I thought it was. Not what I thought it was. So we, in my opinion, and again, all right, hold on. It appears the Russians in Ukraine might be being encircled. Ukrainian forces are close to encircling a large detachment of Russian forces in north of Lyman after making breakthroughs in multiple directions towards the town of Shannon-Dry-Holov. So right now, Russian troops may be in the process of being encircled inside Ukraine and cut off. That would be another huge blow to Putin. Another massive blow to Putin. And what will be very interesting is how many more troops does North Korea send to Ukraine? We've been talking about North Korea a little bit more and more on the show because you guys do seem to really enjoy the North Korea talk. I enjoy it too. I think it's fascinating. I'm trying to pull up the last North Korea video we did. Oh, yes. Trump revealing that North Korea, according to Trump, and again, these are the data points. These are the signs we look at about whether or not World War III is coming. We look at it, and how many nuclear weapons does North Korea have? Well, Trump actually revealed it. Let me see if I can find where that is. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put this on the screen for those of you who didn't see this. Trump revealing. Hold on, give me 1 moment. I'm going to open it.
Thank you.
So what you see here is just days ago, Trump revealed there have long been rumors about how many nukes North Korea has built. Some said the number was as low as 15. I never really believed that. Some thought the number could be as high as 50. That always sounded way more believable to me. President Trump revealed during a recent meeting with the press at the White House that the real number is actually even higher than 50. Let's watch what he had to say right here. Again, this is more signs. And remember, North Korea is building its first ever nuke-powered submarine to launch long-range nuclear missiles. Let's watch.
Thank you. Can't tell you that. But I get along with him. And you know what? The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons. Should have never allowed it to happen. They should have never allowed it. If I were president, I wouldn't have allowed it. But he's got them. I get along with him very well. You can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And I know Kim Jong-un very well, and he's going to be fine. As long as we have a smart president, he's going to be fine. If we have a dumb president, then he's probably not going to be so fine.
So President Trump shocked the world when he revealed that North Korea's nuke arsenal is sitting at 57 bombs. That is right. 57 bombs is what the North Koreans have. Obviously, that was very, very troubling because that was more than we thought. That was more than the world knew about. And let me know in the live chat. We're gonna do a new poll right now. We're gonna do a new poll right now. Does North Korea worry you? Because remember, North Korea is going to act on the orders of Russia and China. More so at this point, Russia than China. Historically, China has been North Korea's biggest backer of the past 30 years, post the collapse of the Soviet Union. But that's starting to change because now Russia is giving North Korea its most advanced technology, its most advanced missile technology, not out of the kindness of their heart, but because North Korea is sending 50,000 troops into the slaughter machine that is Ukraine. So let me know in the poll if North Korea you take as a serious threat. All right, we got a half-ass Homestead, $10. One of our main moderators doing a great job in the moderation. The U.S. has missile silos already pointed at Russia. They call them silos because they look a lot like the ones next to the barn. Yes, the ICBM silos. We got a lot of nukes. We got a lot of bombs, a lot of nukes, and we got the ones on the submarines. The ones on the submarines, in my opinion, are the most important ones because the Russians can see all of our land-based ICBM silos, and they know where our bombers are. They can track all that. They don't know where the submarines are. And our boomers, the big submarines that carry the nukes, they hide in the ocean, and they just wait for the president of the United States to send the order. And then they flip the switch, and it is off to the races. It is off to the races. Guys, again, I am praying that this situation is de-escalated. However, I fear that de-escalation might not be what is on the menu. I fear that this situation will get worse before it gets better. And that means we could find ourselves in a direct conflict with the Russians, with the Chinese, with the North Koreans. So we will see. We will see what is going on and how it all plays out. We got Fat Finger Racing for $10. I feel like the rest of the world thinks we're weak because of how Trump handled, or didn't handle, I should say, Iran. All bark but no bite. Thoughts? I think Iran has gone off the rails. I don't have a good answer for you on Iran. I think the ceasefire in April was a colossal mistake. Was a colossal mistake. Never should have happened. Never should have happened. Never should have been allowed to happen, but it did happen. We should have kept our foot on the gas. We should have ended the regime when we had the chance. And the world would be better off for it. China and Russia have used the slowdown to just ship them as many weapons as they can. They have used the slowdown to arm Iran to the teeth. And there's no other way to look at it than that. And it's very troubling. It's very serious. And China is certainly looking at it and saying, hey, maybe we can take Taiwan sooner than we thought. Maybe taking Taiwan will be easier than we thought. Again, we moved our only aircraft carrier in the region, the USS George Washington, out of that area and into the Middle East. So the Lincoln, which the media won't stop talking about, the USS Lincoln, I've told you, my sources told me the media is grossly exaggerating what is going on, claiming that we ran out of tampons, that the ship has no food, people are starving, there's no hygiene products. That's not true. Another great example, the media being absolutely out of their mind. And I don't know. China, I think China, quite frankly, is probably laughing. They're laughing at us. Let's call it what it is. They're laughing at us. And it's unfortunate. We should not have ever have allowed this situation to get to the place that it is now. All right. I sent you a screenshot to your Gmail. Can we have a cheers for our troops? Thanks for all you do. Cheers to the troops. God bless the brave men and women over there holding the line, doing what must be done to protect this country and protect freedom around the world. If you got a drink in your hands tonight, raise a glass. Cheers to the troops. I'll see if I can find that photo. Give me 1 second. I think I got it. All right, let's see what this is. So David Webb is saying I got eagles reflecting in my eyes. Kind of looks like I do. Kind of looks like I do have eagles reflecting in my eyes. And it's probably because my hat is reflecting off the glass and off the camera back into my eyes. So what you're seeing is the split of the hat is what I would guess. Look at those blue eyes, though. I love my blue eyes. I'm not the greatest athlete in the world, but I do like my blue eyes. So thank you very much for noticing that. That looks pretty badass. Blockade keeping Iran from supplying oil to China and Cuba. China sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect time, but Iran oil is stuck. That's partially true. They're still moving the oil on the landlines. They're not moving it through the Strait of Hormuz because we've got the blockade in. And keep in mind, Iran just bombed another ship today. Iran bombed another ship today. I will put that up on the screen for you. They blew up another ship today. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. Give me a moment to find it. It's somewhere here. Right here. Found it. So Iran blew up another ship today in the Strait of Hormuz, which of course is not a surprise to anybody, but they can still move their oil through the Caspian Sea up to Russia, back down to China. We are slowing the process down, though. We are limiting the amount of oil that they are able to get, but they are still getting some oil from Iran. Unfortunately, I wish I could report to you that that is not what was happening, but unfortunately, it very much is what is happening. Hang on one second. We got information coming in. All righty. We've got the retired people of Iran are now standing in the streets because the IRGC stole their pensions. They're the first line of Persians taking back control of their country. And it's a little bit of a harsh reality. Some people, it's a tough pill for some people to swallow, but it's 100% true. It is 100% true. The worse the economic conditions get in Iran, the more likely it is people rise up against the Iranian regime. There's going to be a level of suffering. People are going to lose their pensions. The economy is in shambles. It's like $2 million of the Iranian rial or whatever it's called. 2 million of them account for $1 US. Everyone watching this right now would be a billionaire in Iran. We'd all be billionaires in Iran. That's how bad their economy is doing. And the worse the economy gets, the more likely it is people rise up and try to take back their country. And there's going to be some level of suffering. And so it breaks my heart to hear that the elderly, the retired people of Iran, their pensions have been stolen by the regime, but that's who the regime is. That is who the regime is. Let's not get confused. That is who they are. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care how many of their own people they hurt. It makes no difference to them. And the sooner we all accept that, the better it is for everyone involved. Checking some information coming in. But that will set the conditions for what comes next, which is hopefully the total collapse of the regime and the freeing of the people of Iran. All right, we got good job, David. Just curious if your wife, this is Fun Eagle 45 Storm 51. Just curious if your wife was able to get an answer as to why we are allowing China and Russia to land planes in Iran. Prayers to our troops. She has not yet, and I don't want to spoil anything. Let me ask her. I don't want to spoil anything. She's got something big coming up. I don't want to say it if it's not public, if it can't be shared publicly yet. So I just asked her if I can share the news. But I got to be careful because it's very secretive, security precautions, things of that nature. She has not got an answer on that specifically yet. Okay, there will be, I'm hearing from my wife. I can't tell you the specifics. She's asking me to not divulge the specifics of what is happening, but that there will be, quote, an opportunity possibly in the very near future here for that. And out of respect for my wife, I obviously am going to hold the line there, and I got to be very careful about what I say. So I can't get into it. She doesn't want me to get into it. So I will say, she said, you can say there's an opportunity for something coming up, but I can't say much more than that at this time. So let's see if we have any more updates coming in. Let's see what we got. Wow, Russia is saying they have bombed 5 ships in Ukraine's Black Sea ports. Russia bombing 5 ships. It has taken out 5 ships. 5 Ukrainian ships have been bombed. So that is major, major news. Wow. So there you go, folks. Russia, I see that meeting with the CIA went really well, huh? They have bombed 5 ships. 5 Ukrainian ships have been hit in what can only be described as a mass attack. Unbelievable. All right, we got Eddie Baker for $5. Should have never eliminated the Pershing missile system. It could have been upgraded. They were deployed in Germany. I served in Germany in 83, 87. The Pershing missile systems were a little bit before my time. Let me see. Let me see when they were retired. I'm not going to give away my exact age, but yeah, they were retired. They were before my time. So I'm all for America having as many weapons as possible. I think the greatest way to peace is to have so many weapons, nobody would ever dare test you. And I'm all for bringing them back if we need them. All right, we got American Made 24. It feels like it's going to get bad here if this war happens, not just nukes in a war, but the terrorist cells are probably waiting for this moment to attack our streets and cause chaos. Absolutely. That's why you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You have to be alert. You have to be ready to roll. Because once society breaks down, and it'll break down, I can promise you that much, all bets are off. The only person you can count on is yourself. So take care of yourself. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Don't live in fear. Do not live in fear. Living in fear will get you absolutely nowhere in this life. Take care of business. Stay safe. Stay vigilant. And stay ready. And if you do that, you give yourself at least a fighting chance. Protect your family. Protect your friends. Get together. Get together with your closest friends and families. There's safety in numbers if it's a small group, right? Have someone who knows first aid. Have someone who understands basic survival skills. Have people who know how to use firearms. Have a lot of people that know how to use firearms. And that will give you a fighting chance in the event this gets as bad as it possibly could get. And there's, it is just crazy to think about that we are in this situation. But this is the situation we are now in. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. While we're in this situation, you have idiots in the media who are talking about things that don't matter. They're pushing stories and agendas that don't matter. Folks, we are on the brink of war. We're on a brink of a multi-front war. And people in the media are treating it like it's not even happening. The multimillionaires on TV, they're not slumming it like I am with a regular camera and a bookshelf. They're not doing that. They're going to be fine. They're going to be able to evacuate. They'll get out. And they're talking to you about stuff that is so meaningless and so dumb and so stupid, it's hard to believe it's even real, but it is real. And so, again, I encourage you all, stay vigilant, stay safe. Don't trust the mainstream media. If it's mainstream media, it's almost always a lie. Any update with the Russian bombing? Spanky 1996. Are you talking about Russia being bombed tonight? No update other than a logistical hub was hit. That's all we know at this time. We are monitoring the situation closely. We are checking to see how it is going and what new information is coming in. What do we got? Do we got to do another poll? 57% of you say you are not worried about North Korea. So I'll end that poll. We're going to do another one. Are you enjoying the Tuesday Night Lives? Always a good idea to get a read of the audience. We got Michael Weber for $10. Korea and Putin are loose cannons, Dave. To mention Little Rocket Man, well, he is a walking bomb himself. Go Dusty. We're going to count that towards Dusty's treat then. We'll count that. If you mention Dusty, it goes into the treat fund. And guys, I think what we might do one of these times is we might pick a fundraiser for veterans or whatever it might be, a pro-America, a veterans charity or something. And maybe one night we'll donate the super chats to a positive charity, an uplifting charity to help those in need. Maybe we'll do it around Christmas. That would probably be a good time to do it. Keep in mind, YouTube takes a huge chunk of the super chats. But you know what? I think that's what we'll do. We'll do a Christmas super chat fundraiser. We'll give it to a local food bank. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that idea? We will do a super chat giveaway where we give it all to a food bank to help those in need during the Christmas season, and make sure that they have food, that everyone can get a hot meal every Christmas day for about 15 years. I've told this story before, but I don't tell it often. Make sure, again, like the video, make sure you're subscribed, follow me on Instagram, follow me on X, and email me at hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com. Every Christmas, I spend Christmas Day with my mom, my dad, my family. We go around to those who might not have anyone to spend Christmas with, might not be physically able to make a Christmas meal, and we just bring them Christmas dinner. We bring them ham, turkey, mashed potatoes, corn. We bring it to them, and we make sure everyone has something to eat on Christmas. We make sure that for at least part of the day, they're not alone. People come into the church, they eat as a big group, but if they can't make it into the church, we go out to their house. I'm a big believer in giving back. I'm a big believer that we should give back whenever we can. And so in December, I'll make a note of it. In December, what we're going to do is we're going to do a live stream, and we're going to do a super chat giveaway to the food bank, the local food bank where we do the Christmas dinner. We will donate the money. I'll let you guys pick. You can either give it to the Christmas dinner specifically, or we'll vote on it beforehand, or we'll give it to the food bank, one of the two. And that way we all come together and raise money for a good cause. So Dusty's Food Treat Fund is up to $130, and we've got Korean Putin or loose cannons. They absolutely are. And they're going to team up with China, and they're going to team up with North Korea. North Korea is the biggest loose cannon of them all. And so, yeah, Korea and Putin, they're teaming up. China's teaming up with them. Iran's teaming up with them. And that's why we're in the problem we're in. If it's a significant world event, can you make a short video so we can get an alert via the new video being posted? Well, make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure your notifications are turned on, and that whenever I post a video, so go check your notifications and make sure they're turned on so you know every single time I post a new video, you guys can see it. Maybe we'll do an email list. I don't really know how to do that, but maybe I can figure out a way to do that, and then we can figure out a way for you guys to get an email blast at the end of the day, and you guys would be able to get all the videos in an email blast. So yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. But make sure your notifications are turned on. That's the simplest way to do it. We got ALXL 6546, $10, supporting the food bank. I will make a note of that $10. Obviously, we're going to do the real one in December, hopefully, assuming we all haven't been nuked into oblivion by then. So there you go. Thank you very much, guys. It's so important to help people who can't help themselves or might be down on their luck. Even if you don't feel like you have much in life, I'm always grateful for whatever little I have. I'm always so grateful just to have food every day, have a roof over my head, have shelter, have a great wife, have a great dog. So, help people when you can. You're going to feel better about it. The world's going to be a better place. We're living in a dark time. We could at least all try to uplift. Donate. David Webb saying donate to pet shelters. I go in for both in serving meals for the homeless and do walks for pet shelters. Can you split it for Dusty? Thank you, David. So Dusty is up to, what is that now? 132.5. I've never thought about a pet. I've never thought about a pet shelter, but that's not a bad idea. for Dusty from my wife. So we're up to 137.5 for Dusty's treat fund. All right, guys, this has been another awesome live. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. We've been here for over 2 hours now. I'm going to sign off. Before you go, if you haven't already liked the video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Subscribe. Go to Instagram, follow me, David_Hookstead. Go to X, DHookstead, or email me at hooksteadbusiness@gmail.com. And thank you very much. It means the world to me that you guys come hang out with me. It means the world to me that you guys are here. So thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow morning with our regular scheduled programming. You guys stay safe. Thank you for everyone who sent a super chat today to keep the show alive and keep the lights on. Have an awesome rest of your Tuesday night. I'll see you all tomorrow.